It's 2026, and new AI models like Gemini can replace 80% of your business growth activities. But most teams and most entrepreneurs are still using about 1% of that potential. In this video, I'll show you 6 Gemini super agents I use to quit my full-time job, land 5 clients every month for my business, and grow 20,000 business followers across channels in the last 6 months. I'm talking about workflows on Reddit, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook that lands customers for small businesses and big companies, while saving you hundreds of hours. I want to first introduce you the Gemini super agents I use for Reddit. In 2026, Reddit is still one of the most unexploited growth channels out there. It has over 500 million monthly visitors, and the ad revenue is expected to grow by nearly 40% in 2026, and this shows how much marketers and growth operators are interested in the channel. I'm going to introduce you to 3 key agents that allow you to automate your growth on Reddit. We'll explain you the logic, explain you the step, and what each of these agents can allow you to achieve, and then I will show you the results. I will also include in the description of this video the template of each agent, so you can install it and use it for yourself. So this is not only practical, but everything you'll see in this video, you'll also be able to use for yourself. The first Reddit agent we're seeing today, which you see now on the screen, it's an agent that will allow us to find posts which are relevant for our offering or product, and therefore also interesting for our customer. It's all those posts where you would want to appear with a comment about your company promoting your product. The agent here, it's very, very simple. You insert once and only once the communities which are interesting, which you want to monitor. This is all the subreddit where people might go and post question relevant for your product. So if you have a legal studio in New York, the community you're looking for is New York legal. If you have a software or service in global, you might be interested in marketing subreddit, product marketing, software as a service, right? So each one of you will select the community, the subreddit which are relevant for the company, and include them here. And again, you only have to do this once. You then insert, and again, only once, information about your company. So you insert your website and your blog or your LinkedIn, all of where the agent, the AI, can find information about your company to build a very simple profile. By having this information, the agent will be able to discern and understand which posts are relevant for your company, because they understand what your company is selling and what product you are selling, right? Once a week, the agent will then go to Reddit, extract information from Reddit, so all of the posts from this subreddit which are relevant based on the specific set of information which you have given. And then we'll finally prompt Gemini, and we have here using Gemini Pro as a model. We're telling them identify a Reddit post where user explicitly describe or complain about the pain points our company, in this case we're referencing our company, solves. So we can leave authentic experience-based comment and naturally position our product as the solution. So basically we're telling them, this is my company, these are the communities where my ideal customers hang out. Please help me identify which of these posts are relevant so I can go and leave a comment, right? So you don't have to screen all of Reddit manually to look for the conversation which are interesting for you, but every week you just receive the links to the posts where you know you want to comment. As you might have noticed, to set up these agents, I'm using Gemini inside the third-party tool. It's a free tool. It's called Relay app. The link to the templates are included in the description, and once you click on the template, you will be automatically prompted to open this tool. Create an account is super simple, and again, completely free, which is why I use it to share knowledge with the people I work with and in my courses. Why am I using this and I'm not doing directly in Gemini? That's a good question. Tools like Relay help us access data which otherwise would be impossible to access directly to Gemini, right? So for example, we want to access TikTok posts, Instagram, Facebook, or even specific posts within Reddit. To do it directly from Gemini, the Gemini chat interface, will be absolutely impossible because they're not freely accessible and that requires an account. The second Reddit agent, which I use on a daily basis, is very similar to the first one, but it doesn't limit itself to finding relevant conversation. It also drafts comments. It doesn't just draft generic comments. In this case, what I want to do is I want to give my comments, my post, the best possible chance to end up referred in ChatGPT and Gemini, right? So I want to structure the comments in a very specific way that is more likely to be picked up by large language models like OpenAI and Gemini. So what I'm doing here is I'm giving a prompt to Gemini Pro within this agent, and I'm telling them, okay, look for the posts which are relevant to my pain point, which my ideal customer could be interested in. And once you find them, also based on what we do, based on the content about my company, because I provided again all of the information about my company, for each post, draft a helpful, high quality comment that follow as many as possible of the following rules, right? So now I'm giving them rules on how I want them to comment. I want to frame the problem clearly and respond with deep, specific insight. I want to integrate SEO, keywords, and GEO modifiers naturally within the comment. For example, mentioning relevant location, regions, local regulation, pricing, or search terms people would use. For example, AI phone agents for dental clinics in California. I want to give it as a clear formatting as possible, so short paragraphs, bullet points, subheadings if needed, and make it scannable and structured. And I want to anticipate related question or cover multiple angles of the topic to improve discoverability and evergreen value, right? So what I'm doing is I'm finding the post, I'm giving the information about my company, I'm telling them also draft a comment, which I will review before posting, but draft it in a way that it gives them the best possible opportunity for this comment to end referred by ChatGPT and Gemini, right? So when people type in Gemini, what is the best tool for, I don't know, writing posts on LinkedIn, my personal product appears. I don't have such a product, it was just an example. And once I run this agent, the previous one, the results will look like this. It will both send me an email and create a Google Sheet, which has all of the posts where I am recommended to comment for this week, right? So if I open it here, I see that there are here as many posts as so there's like 10 posts. There's the Reddit post title. This is the original post. In this case, for example, has anyone ever tried building a agentic AI system to manage internal knowledge for PMM teams? There's the post of the URL, so I can comfortably click and go check it by myself. And then it explains why it has selected it. That is exactly about deploying autonomous, semi-autonomous agents, which is something which is very relevant for me. And then it recommends me a comment, right? The comment has exactly the answer engine optimization optimize structure, so bullet points, short heading, very specific details and keywords which are relevant, so they make this likely to be recommended by LLMs, right? And then inside it recommends also the tool which I wanted to have recommend, which in this case it was Relay. So let me find exactly when it recommends Relay. And I see here for teams that don't want babysit infra, I've been happy using Relay.app. I see up no-code agents that talks to Notion plus HubSpot and Gmail in under an hour, right? So this is exactly what we're looking for. Very specific peer-to-peer recommendation embedded in a long and structured comment that makes it very likely to be used by LLMs. The third and last of the Gemini agents for Reddit, which we are seeing today, is an agent to monitor sentiment around your own specific brand. This is less useful if you have a small consulting brand or you're just getting started, because very few people will go to Reddit and ask about your brand. But it's more relevant if you have a larger and a growing brand, right? In this case, it's very important to monitor what the community is saying about your brand and also being able to influence what people are saying as much as possible at the beginning. Might not be ethical, but if it was my brand, I would definitely want to do it. So this agent, what this agent does is it looks for a specific brand. In this case, we're looking for Relay app, which is this brand we're using today to build this agent. And we're looking for all of the possible combination that includes that specific brand. So Relay automation, Relay workflow, Relay AI agents, right? So we're looking for possible combination where people might be mentioning this specific brand. And I want to look for all of them. And then I want to use Gemini to, number one, look for false positives. So people might be using a similar word or mentioning that even that specific word, but they could be related to something else. So I want to make sure they're referring to my own brand, right? So I want to be sure they are referring to the Relay.app AI workflow automation tool. And then once that's done, I want to create a concise summary report, including total relevant mentions, key topics, sentiment, any notable posts that need attention, links of the most relevant post, right? So I want to take all of these on a weekly basis. I want to create a small report and I want to make sure we reference it to my own specific brand, right? So we can measure the sentiment and also influence it. And again, here, if I show you the test run, which I had for this brand agent, we see that it has found several different posts and it has compiled an email, which was sent to me with the report. This would happen every week. And I see every email has an executive summary, the mention overview, the total number of mentions for my specific brand. In this case, I check for Relay app brand, and I see there are 6 brands across the unique thread discussion. A lot of false positive, and then the key topics and things that were touched, the sentiment analysis, which in this case is positive, very good, and then notable post links, so I can open directly that specific thread which was mentioned here. Very, very nice. Let's now switch channel and talk about how to build Gemini AI agent for LinkedIn that help us generate new customers. LinkedIn is the largest professional network in the world, and it offers a very unique opportunity to steal leads from the comment section of other people. Whenever someone, be it an influencer in your specific niche or one of your direct competitors, posts something that gets significant attention or even goes viral, you have a unique opportunity to extract leads from their comment section, from their engagement section. So whenever you find a post which went viral or went very, very well, and it speaks about a pain point which you and your company are solving, what you can do is scrape all of the comments under that post and extract leads which are qualified for your own company. And you don't only know that they have intent to buy because they made their intent public by commenting and engaging with the specific post, but you also have the perfect channel to communicate with them. You know for a fact that they're active on LinkedIn, right? So you have the perfect timing and the perfect channel, and you also have a perfect entry point. I saw you commented on XYZ post, and I thought this might be interesting. We offer this, and then you make stupid good off. And this is the exact agent I use to find, to be fair, most of my leads. I trigger this manually whenever I encounter such a post that matches this qualification, this characteristic which I just mentioned. I start this workflow manually and I add the URL of the post. So I simply go to LinkedIn and extract the URL of that specific post. I then describe only once the ICP which I'm looking for, in this case, C-level owner, director of a tech startup, but you can go as deep or as broad as you want, right? Important that you describe what specifically you're looking for. What the agent will do is we'll extract all of the comments on the post, we'll use Gemini Flash to remove duplicates if there are, and then it will search for all of the LinkedIn profile of all of the people who commented, and Gemini Pro will match the profile of the person commenting against your ICP. If it's a fit and they are within your ICP, it will be marked in a sheet and it will be returned to you. That's a perfect lead. You have to contact them. You have a unique opportunity here. Let me show you how this look when I run it and I see the results. I see that for this specific run, it found 50 people, 50 unique people commenting, and then it classified all of them. I can see here the name of the person, the summary of their profile, the explanation why they were selected as in ICP fit or not, ideal customer profile fit or not, and I can see the people who are in my ICP, right? So I see line number 3, line number 4, line number 5 are in my ICP. It also gives uncertain when it couldn't discern if it was in your ICP or not. But I can see that already in this list, half of the people here are in my ICP and they showed intent. So it would be a great list to take an afternoon, send them a very personalized message telling, I saw you commented here, this is our offer. Or you can even automate. If your brand is more ads-based rather than organic content like LinkedIn and Reddit, and you invest a lot of time and money in ads, for example, if you're a B2C brand, as might be the case, I hope you're still watching, is it so? You must monitor your competitor ads. This is one of the must-do to see when your competitor is investing, what they're investing in, but also what resonates with your audience. What is the messaging that works with your audience, because your competitor are investing a lot of money in them, in the specific ads, and they're keeping them active for a very, very long time. Right? You can definitely do this. What you have to do in this case is set up an ads analyst that runs every week, for example, or even every day. If people invest a lot of money in ads in your specific niche, what you have to do is identify your competitor and insert in this table. You will insert the name and you will insert the meta ads URL. Now, A lot of you might know it, but I'm sure there are some people who don't. If you go to Facebook ads library, which is here, you can search for the entire ads library of any company which is on Facebook and is advertising under their own name. To make an example, let's say I'm looking for a brand which is a worldwide brand and I want to see all of the ads which they've performed. The brand I'm looking for is Opus Clip, which is a software for video editing. Opus Clip, I can find it the page of Opus Clip. Once I open it, I'm able to see all of the ads which they've active and which they had active in the past. So what we want to do with these ads is we want to extract all of them. So we want to scrape this specific page with the specific scraper, and we want to use Gemini to analyze the ads found and produce a report for each ad, including the message summary, main topic, call to action, how long the ad has been active, and the type of visual asset used, right? So I want to make a report for each of the single ads, extract them all, make a report for all of the company which you want to track, right? In this case, I only have one company here, but you could have 2 or 20, right? For all of the company will perform these actions, and then I want Gemini to also generate a summary which gives me basically the top 3 ads by activity date, right? So the longer they keep them active, you can infer the most successful the campaign is and the best performing the ads is, right? So I want to look for the most active ads, so the top 3, and an overall summary of how many ads they've active and what messaging are they targeting, right? So I want to keep tabs on my competitors so I know what resonates with their audience, when they're investing, what they're investing on. And one more time, if I go here to check the results, I can see the brand competitor report. In this case, it's only going to be about Opus Clip for January 7, which is today because I ran this today. I can see the ad strategy, total active ads. In this case, they have 48 ads active. They're investing a lot. Main theme and topics, feature education, podcast repurposing, social purpose, new product launch. Most active ads, top 3 longest running. I can see they've had an ad constantly active from November 5th to 2025. So over 63 days. This is usually a very long time to keep an ad active. So I can infer with sufficient amount of confidence these are very well performing ads. So what I might do is I might go to the link here and I might just copy the ad, make it about my own brand and paste it and see the results immediately because they've already validated that these are ads that work. To close for today, what the last agent we are seeing is TikTok and Instagram Monitor. This is probably the simplest agent we are seeing today, but also probably one of the most effective. Brand monitoring in your niche is key to make sure your sales motion, your content, everything you're doing are going in the right direction where also the market is going. So monitoring Instagram, TikTok, but also you can replicate the same approach for LinkedIn, for YouTube, for example. And in general, wherever your ideal customer are, you'll always have some platform or reference. I'm just showcasing it for Instagram and TikTok now. You want to identify the key profiles. It's going to be the key influencer in your niche and your direct competitor or closest competitor, right? You'll include them here. In this case, I just included some samples. You will include their TikTok profile, right? So here we're seeing TikTok, for example. Create a table having all of your competitor, and then every week or every bi-weekly or monthly, for example, I recommend weekly, I do this weekly, I will extract the videos from the profile that were published in the last 7 days, if you do it weekly, for example, and then I will extract the most successful one, the one that are outliers for the average of the channel, right? So if one post had, 1,000 impressions and another post had 100,000 from the same profile, most likely the 100,000 post brings a message, a hook, an angle to the topic, which is really reasoning with the audience, right? So understanding what are the trends, what are the things that work well with your audience and at what time, it's really, really key to also steer where you go, your own messaging, your position. And here you can see it done for TikTok, because you're monitoring specifically TikTok, but you can do the same for Instagram, and you could set up the very same and even with more details for platforms like LinkedIn and Reddit. So you can really monitor and receive a report. The report will be very, very simple. It will just include the top 2 posts of the week or the top 1 post of the week. You decide how many, right? But it will just bring you the posts that are outlier for this specific channel. You can find all of the templates which you have seen today in the description of this video. You can import them and use them directly. You just have to insert the description of your company and your competitor, but everything is ready to go. I use Relay for this reason. It's super simple to set it up. There's also a discount code to have extra free credits. You shouldn't need it. You should be able to test each one of these agents without having to use too many credits, and the free package should be enough. You can also find on my profile the step-by-step tutorial to build every single one of these agents, or almost all of them. If you want the ones which you can't find, just let me know in the comments. I try to publish at least one video per week. Any recommendation on how to make this better, it's super welcome.